Hello, Julie here, and thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel today. Today I'm going to be working in my journal that I'm going to be giving away very soon, when I've finished it, that is. It's a 2,000 subscriber giveaway, and I've reached my 2,000. Now all I've got to do is finish the journal and then it's ready to go. Today I'm going to work on a couple of paper bags that I've got in the journal. Okay, so I'm going to work on this paper bag now. And I have this leftover, well, there's quite a bit on there, of wallpaper I got from the op shop, I think. So I'm going to use that. And I have cut two pieces down. One for the front piece to go here. And one for the back to go here. That's a bit crooked, isn't it? Okay, so do I want one to go in here? I might do a strip to go in there too, just like that. Right, I need to go and cut another strip and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my three pieces now and I'm going to ink the edges. I'm hoping that after it's been in the book for a while it will flatten out, because it certainly tends to curl up pretty easily at the moment. I think what I need to do is take some off the roll and cut it down a bit, say to A4 size or something like that, and put it under a big weight for a while so that it will flatten out and be more easily usable. It's quite a pretty wallpaper. Got a slight lemon to it, slight yellowy colouring. Okay, so the first bit I'm going to do is this piece that goes in there. It might be easier to do that after I've done this. It might have a bit more weight to it. Okay, so which is the right way up? This way up, so make sure I've got my pattern going up the right way. And I'm going to use my art glitter glue to do this. I'm going to I want to make sure I've got plenty of glue on the edges, because I don't want it to be catching on things as I'm turning pages. So I'm lining that up, so I've got about 1/8 of an inch from that edge. I like the picket edge of the paper bag, so I'm aiming at leaving that showing. Okay, now where's my little strip? There it is. Here it is, right here. So let's stick that piece in next. This is going to be a bit tricky getting that in there with it trying to curl up all the time, and lining it up before it sticks down. Being up with the glue, it sticks pretty quickly, and I could be in strife. Okay. Now this last piece, once again I want to get the glue very close to the edge. Okay, my storage on my camera filled up and I lost a bit of footage there, but you can see here I have got my bag completely covered with the wallpaper. Now I'm going to go and have a look and see what I want to do to embellish this. I am going to have light embellishment on here, not a great deal at all, and I want to showcase the wallpaper mainly. So I'll have a look what I've got to put on here and I'll be back shortly. Okay, so for the front of it, I'm going to use these 49 and Market vintage foliage. Let me have a look if I can read it on the back. Essential mini foliage, 49 and Market. They're leaves on acetate, and also in the packet there's a few butterflies. So these both came out of the packet. I'm going to put the leaves there and the butterfly up there, and I've got a little label to put on here, like so. So the label is a printable, and that's where it came from, Digital and SVG Designs for You, and it's called Butterflies and Prints Labels, and that's the thing. You can print these, like this is the full size sheet. You can halve it and print 2 to a page if you want to get smaller labels. So this is going to be pretty straightforward. I'm just going to glue these into place. The art glitter glue is ideal for this sort of thing because it does dry clear, and because I'm putting it behind the colour on the leaves, you won't see it at all. Now I want it about there. So I don't want it right down the bottom, but I don't want it in the middle either, so I'm dropping it to the bottom. It's in the, yeah, lower than it is high. And the butterfly is going to be flying off in that direction, so once again I'm just going to add my glue, try and get it behind the lines, but there's only lines on here, so it's not a lot of area to add your glue, but I think that with the pattern in the background, fairly safe that you won't see any of that glue at all. So that's on there. And then I've got that label, as I said. I'm going to ink around that before I attach it. And then just some glue. And make sure I've got it the right way. And just across there like so, I think. Make sure I've got it on straight. And that is the decoration for that pocket. I'll probably just fold up some nice paper and put in here for journaling, because well, you can see that this is getting pretty fat already, and I'm trying not to bulk it up anymore. Now on the back here I'm going to do, I've got another one of those, another label from that sheet. I'm just going to ink around that. And I've got some die cut flowers from I think they're from the Tim Holtz die. Not sure, I'll check that up and put it in the description box. Now I'm going to use, it's got the yellow in there. Okay, so I've got some yellows here that I think I might use for the actual flower. I'm just going to put some on my distressing block. So that's squeezed lemonade and wild honey. I'll just start with those two, I think. So I'll start with the squeezed lemonade, and I'll just go over this whole thing with that. Now, ideally, I don't want a real strong colour, so that will be okay. So I'll just let that dry for a minute, and I'll do some green. So I'm going to use bundled sage to start with. Because once again, I don't want a strong colour here, and this is just a piece of foliage, so I'll just colour this one. Because the wallpaper's got very muted colours in it, I don't want anything that's too stark to take away from that. I need something that'll blend in with it and stand out a little bit, but you know, not hit you in the eye. Okay, I'll do the same on this stem. Then I've got peeled paint over there. I'll add a little bit of that, and just for a bit of shading and definition, you know, a bit of tone on tone. Okay, so that's that one, and the squeezed lemonade. Now this yellow looks pretty dry now, so I'll just get a little bit of squeezed, no, what is it, wild honey. I'm just going to come up from the bottom slightly like that, and then I'm going to just use a clean water brush to blend that up a bit like that. Now let that dry and go on with the green. So I'm going to add some of this peeled paint to my block, and you can see that that's quite a bit darker, so I'm going to mix a bit of that with the bundled sage just to get, I only want like bits and pieces of this colour. I don't want to cover the whole thing with it, so this is just, you know, a bit of shading and light and dark. Okay, so that'll be enough for that, and then a bit more for this one, so a bit darker up here near where the flower is, and then work our way down. Bit on the so you don't have to be an artist to do this sort of thing. It's just watercolour really, and it can be anywhere. Now, just for a little bit more detail, I'm just going to take a little bit of this wild honey and not water it down as much, and just come up from the bottom, just a fraction, something like that. be nice to bring something down there too. Just looks like some shading from overlapping of petals and things. We don't want it too dark. Just a little bit of definition up there. Okay, so they can dry now, and once they're dry I'll see how the colour is and we'll go from there. I just let things dry normally, naturally. I don't usually use my heat gun to dry anything off. I can see that I do want a little bit more green on here. Some pretty light areas there that are really just about white. Look like they haven't got anything on them. That's a bit better. Okay, drying time. I'll be back shortly. Okay, so my leaves and flower are dry now, or dry enough, and I'm going to attach them on there. Now I'm pretty happy with the colour. I think they blend in nicely with the colours on the wallpaper. So I'm not even going to ink around those. I'm just going to, or should I just put a little bit of ink on them? Just a little bit, I suppose, to help them stand out from the background, but certainly not overdoing it. Just a little bit here and there. So now I have never stuck anything to this wallpaper before. As a matter of fact, I haven't used it before, so I'm hoping that the art glitter glue will stick to the front of it. The front's a different composition than the back. The back's sort of just like a fairly sturdy sort of paper, whereas the front is more of, well, got a different texture to it, so fingers crossed. Make sure that all those little bits are stuck down, because as that page moves backwards and forwards it's likely to catch on things. Be very careful with this because that stem is just hanging on by bare thread. I wouldn't actually be surprised if it fell off. Okay. Right, here we go with this one. And here's our ticket, or our label. It's going to go across there like so. Or do I want to move more over like that? I'll put it more over like that so you can see that flower better. Okay, so that's that one. Now I have also got another one here that I have covered with some paper from this paper pack. It's a Prima paper pack and it's called Lyric. Once again, this is really, really old, so it definitely won't be available anymore. So I've done the same thing there. I've put the little strip in there, and I've covered the back as well with the same paper. Now I'm going to decide what embellishments I want to add to that. So I'll have a look what I've got, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to make a little tuck. I'm not going to put anything in the tuck because, as I've already explained, this journal is getting way too fat, and as I'm giving it away, I want to leave some space for whoever gets it to put their stamp on it. So this is just a die that I have, and I've just cut this out of some very thin paper. I'm just going to use this to add a bit of width to my little embellishment. So that's going to go there, like so. And, oh, should I put it like that? I might put that behind. So I'm just going to attach this. Where's my glue? Put my glue there, and then I'm just going to attach that like so. Make sure there's no glue on the back because I don't want that to be sealed down. And then I'm just going to pop that in there, just run glue along there, and then that will become a little tuck. So by keeping the embellishment here quite small, I'm keeping that pretty paper there, and I'm just allowing a little tuck there for something that someone might like to add. So, pop something in there like so. Okay, so that's that side. I wanted to put some lace behind that. So I will do that. I've got this lace here. I'm just going to cut a piece of that, because I've used this lace in other places in this journal, and I just thought, I know I'm trying to keep it to a minimum, but you have to have some pretties, don't you? And that can go there like so, and then this one can go on top of that. So one little bit of lace is not too bulky, is it? Okay. There we go. So we still got our little tuck there, and I'll turn over like that. Now on this side, I'm going to use this label. This is a printable, I think. It's a set of labels. I don't know who had the printables, but I will endeavour to take note in future and try and store them so that I know where they came from. And I'm also going to use this little tag. Once again, I think I might have got this in a Happy Mail, so I'm going to use that. And I also thought, I've got a little stamp here, I thought I'd use that. Okay, now I'm not making a tuck of this, I'm just putting it on, sticking it down and letting it blend into the background. So it's going to be something like that. So first of all, let's stick this onto this. I'm just putting some glue on part of that. Yep. Okay, now I'm going to stick that down. I thought about making this a tuck, but seeing as how I've put that lace on the other side, I don't think I've got the space for it. So that is being stuck down there. Now this had quite a large area in the middle there of just plain all of this background card. So I'm quite happy to put that on there, and then I'm going to put this stamp, want it up there. Just might put it there, I think. Okay, so that's that one, and the other half of that bag, wherever that is, I have already decorated. This is on one half of it, so that's a fold out pocket, and there's my bag behind it, so there's my pocket there, that is my paper bag, and then on the back I've just done a little collage. Okay, so that's all of my paper bags covered in here now. As you can see, it's getting quite fat, and I think I'm getting close to finishing it off. So I think the next thing I'm going to have to do is just go through the whole journal and see what needs to be done to finish it off. And then it'll be ready to give away. Okay, well, thank you for joining me here today for my video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have enjoyed it, I'd love it if you would give me a thumbs up, and if you're not already a subscriber, I'd love it if you would subscribe. That would be fantastic. So yeah, thanks for being here, and I hope you can join me when I post my next video. Bye.